Why did the Scarecrow become a successful real estate broker? Because he was outstanding in his field. Now that's not just a corny joke, folks. It's the perfect lead into our tale today. We're diving into the world of real estate investing, but not through your typical Wall Street tycoon or Silicon Valley whiz kid. No, we're following the journey of a scarecrow. Yeah, you heard me right, a scarecrow. His name? Bob. Bob was just your average scarecrow, scaring off crows in the middle of nowhere. But one day, Bob got tired of standing around and decided to trade in his straw hat for a snazzy suit and tie. He swapped his old farm for a swanky office in the city. He traded in his life of solitude for a life of deal-making and closing contracts. And just like that, Bob became a real estate tycoon. So let's see how our friend Bob, an outstanding scarecrow, turned the real estate world upside down. Bob, being a scarecrow, knew nothing about real estate except for the fact that crows were not good tenants. So when Bob decided to dive headfirst into the world of real estate, it was like a fish deciding to climb a tree. Bob's first investment was a dilapidated old farmhouse, perfect for a scarecrow, but not so much for humans. But Bob, ever the optimist, saw potential. He envisioned it as a charming, rustic abode, but boy was he in for a surprise. First off, the crows. Oh, the crows! They were everywhere, turning his property into a Hitchcock movie set. Bob tried everything to get rid of them, from traditional scare tactics to offering them free birdseed on the other side of town. The crows, however, seemed to take it as an invitation to invite their friends over. Then came the paperwork. Now, have you ever seen a scarecrow try to handle paperwork? It's a sight to behold, let me tell you. Bob would sit for hours, straw hat tipped low over his eyes, trying to make sense of the jargon. He'd often get lost in the maze of documents, sometimes literally. One time, Bob was found buried under a pile of property tax forms, only his hat visible. Despite the challenges, Bob kept his sense of humor. He'd often joke about starting a crow relocation program or using his straw stuffing to help with insulation. His resilience and determination became the stuff of legend in his town. Through all of this, Bob learned a lot. He learned that crows make terrible tenants, but excellent critics of scarecrow attire. He learned that paperwork is a labyrinth that even the most experienced real estate moguls can get lost in. But most importantly, he learned that even a scarecrow can navigate the world of real estate with a little bit of humor and a lot of determination. Despite all the mishaps, Bob wasn't ready to throw in the towel. He was determined to prove that a scarecrow could indeed succeed in real estate. And boy, did he prove it. But that's a story for another scene. With a straw hat full of dedication and a heart stuffed with determination, Bob rolled up his sleeves and dived back into the real estate world. And oh boy, what a splash he made. Picture Bob, our once clueless scarecrow, now navigating through the real estate maze with the finesse of a seasoned pro. He learned that real estate wasn't just about buying and selling properties. It was about understanding the market, knowing when to hold, when to fold, and when to walk away. Bob stumbled and fumbled, but he got back up again, dusted off his straw hat, and kept going. He attended seminars, read books, and sought advice from other successful investors. He learned that real estate was more than just bricks and mortar. It was about people, their dreams, and the communities they lived in. Bob's transformation was nothing short of miraculous. From a bumbling novice, he morphed into a savvy investor, armed with knowledge and brimming with confidence. He started making smart investments, buying low, selling high, and raking in the profits. His straw hat was no longer just a hat. It became a symbol of his journey, his triumphs, and his indomitable spirit. He turned his misadventures into lessons, his failures into stepping stones, and his dreams into reality. And that, my friends, is how Bob the Scarecrow became a real estate mogul. If he can do it, so can you. Now, I'm not suggesting you go out and scare some crows off a property, but whatever works. In this wild world of real estate, if a scarecrow can do it, surely you can too. Maybe you won't be scaring off birds, but you'll certainly be scaring off doubts. The journey to becoming a real estate mogul begins with a single step, or maybe a single property. So what are you waiting for? Get out there and become the next Bob. Minus the straw hat and crows, of course. Until next time, keep those real estate dreams alive.